With a little bit of green in the markets today, individuals are wondering, is this the pullback buying opportunity? Half of crypto YouTube says it is. Or is this just really the beginning of a, let's call it, sucker movement before the next red candle comes in to grab your liquidity? Find out in today's exciting episode of Breaking Bitcoin. Welcome back to Breaking Bitcoin. This is your daily source for everything cryptocurrency and personal finance. My name is Justin Wise, lead analyst at crackingcryptocurrency.com. Hopefully you guys are doing fantastic today wherever you're tuning in from and however you happen to be watching the show. Shout out to everybody watching on YouTube, Twitch, DLive, Facebook Live, or on Roku with the Investor News Channel app. We've got a great show for you guys today. We're going to be looking at a few possibilities. Obviously, we're going to be looking at the technicals of the market, looking at the nature of the movements and seeing what they tend to suggest as far as what we're going to see in the future. Obviously, the main question on people's minds and any trader or any investor really, when they look at kind of what happened over the last few days, there was an unprecedented, I want to say unprecedented. I've seen more fear. Listen, we've been through the November 2018 smash. We've been through the March meltdown. We've lived through, coronavirus. So far, we're still alive. It's still out there. And it's easy to forget it's out there sometimes. But the last few days have been a pretty pronounced pullback in an otherwise completely euphoric market. So there are several elements here. Let's just talk kind of fundamentally. The first thing can be, yes, the evidence would suggest, because we haven't broken any significant trend lines, we haven't broken any significant trending indicators, for example. Several trending indicators might have reset or pulled back down. But overall, we don't really see a lot of are, let's say, insensitive indicators signaling that we're in a bearish trend. And we really haven't even broken support. We haven't shifted market structure. We haven't formed a lower low. We haven't formed a lower high. So there's really nothing to suggest or to give good technical credence to price continuing to move down, unless or except for just fundamental, sentiment analysis and reversal strategy, right? So again, there is one particular strategy where you do try to predict the tops and bottoms of markets or market cycles or market moves. And this occurs in many different markets, and many different individuals attempt their hand at this with varying success. Most retail traders are going to have overwhelmingly poor odds. Reversal trading has the highest failure rate of trading, and most trading education for retail traders is reversal trading. So there seems to be some evidence to suggest it's not the best strategy for your normal day trader. But I digress. Typically, the successful reversal trades, in my experience, are reversal trades like you see, for example, from the movie The Big Short. This is where you have a fundamental conviction or reason to believe that a market is topped out, is overvalued or undervalued. And you have the capital and the conviction, because you believe in your position, to hold that position for a long time, even in steep drawdown. If you do not have that conviction and you're taking a contrary bet, it's very hard to hold that position. You guys know this is true if you kind of think back upon the times that you've tried this, because everybody does. Everybody has looked at the chart who has tried their hand at trading and said, this market looks topped out. This market looks bottomed out. I think this is the bottom. I think this is the top. I'm going to go long. I'm going to go short. And if you really, really believe that, for example, several times, for example, buying Bitcoin. This might not be the best example because I'm sure we've all struggled sometimes with purchasing Bitcoin and holding it when we thought it was bottomed out and the dip kept dipping. But, myself, it's been easier for me to purchase bottoms on Bitcoin, for example, then it's been easier for me to buy Bitcoins on, say, something like, XRP. Because I do not have faith in XRP. I do not believe in XRP. I do believe in the fundamental value of Bitcoin. So when I see cheap Bitcoin, I view it for what I think it is, which is cheap Bitcoin. Somebody who doesn't have that conviction doesn't really see cheap Bitcoin. They see a bearish trend and they're afraid the price is going to go down, and they might be right. So yeah, that's generally my point. And you can kind of look to that. It's a great movie, The Big Short. There's some inaccuracies in it, from a technical point, but it's a movie adaptation. The book is really good too. So if you want to see what a successful short looks like, or a successful reversal trader it looks like, that's the kind of movie that I suggest you watch to kind of get a good idea for when those strategies work the best. The reality is that Barring that, if you don't have that conviction, then your best bet is to trade the trend. And so let's look at the charts and see if we can get a good, again, that is the case. The bead seems to be, and everything that we have to suggest is a pullback in a bullish trend, and that we're now experiencing continuation and a buying opportunity. So being that the case, you have one of two options. One, you can be aggressive and attempt to buy some of these bottoms as they're closer to their bottoms. Two, you can be conservative and consider the fact that, well, don't buy the first dip, right? We've talked about this a lot. That's a good strategy. Don't buy the first dip, wait a little bit, kind of let the aggressive individuals get in there and then see if we get a second dip and then capitalize on that opportunity, still ensuring that we don't break significant trend lines or break market structure, for example. And three, you can just sit on your hands. You can sit on your hands. This is kind of like, I guess this fits in with number two, being conservative, but you can sit on your hands and wait, not really attempting to buy the dip if there is a second dip or the current dip, and just wait to get some more confirmation, a few more bullish green candles. You're not going to be buying at you're not going to get the most optimum price, but you are going to have more confirmation, which is going to give you more confidence when you do end up taking your continuation. So I think we're going to see kind of a mixture of both of these. And for me personally, when considering the integrity of the coin at question, that will be guiding my decision certainly over the next few days. So with that being said, if you guys enjoy the content, if you want to support the channel, take a moment and subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the notification bell. Otherwise, you will likely not get notifications because that's how it works. We do more live streams than pre-recorded content as in uploads to here to YouTube. And because of that, we tend to get flagged or notifications don't tend to go out. Lots of issues, and it's because of live streams, and it's because of the nature of YouTube promoting scams. So one day in the future that will be taken care of, but right now it's not. So notifications are the way to go. And like the video. Likes help more than you know. If we can get to 50 likes, I said this yesterday and we did get there. So I said we'd look at links. So we'll look at links. So I guess if you guys hit 50 likes, before we look at link, we'll look at link again. Yay! Let's get going, guys. Let me know if you got questions in the chat, and we're going to do this. All right. And I do see Crypto Jack S180XT, Crypto Rick Profit Bear, Benoit Junk, Spin B. Good to see you, my friend. Member here on the YouTubes. Peckham08, as always. Buenas tardes, amigo. Ron Legato, David Hunsberger, Ray McCord, and Mr. Unicorn. Good. All right. Getting the necessary hydration. Liquid and water is good. Let's see here. Let me position myself. And let's get going. Let me see if I can. Whoop. A little bit of a tilt there. All right. I swear, these kids, man. All right. Let's get started on the daily here. Daily time frame chart of Bitcoin, looking at a perspective pathways to profit strategy, a strategy we teach in our online trading academy. It's a structure for building a trend following trading system. I see Smiles J asking, what are my thoughts on Algo? I quite like Algorand. I hold Algorand. I've met the team. Silvio McCauley is well, I don't want to, listen, I don't want to high five him too hard, but Silvio McCauley is a brilliant man, incredible designer, and I had the opportunity to sit down and interview him at San Francisco Blockchain Week. We got a really good video for that on our Crypto Currently playlist here. Check that out if you haven't seen it after this live stream. Yeah, I think it's a fantastic project. They're really focused on, what I like about them is that they have the team, they have the kind of the muscle necessary to leverage what they want to do for the finances of the company, which is building enterprise blockchains. And I think that's something that's often overlooked by traders or by investors in cryptocurrency, particularly. They buy a project because it's really good, or the technicals are really good. And there's some fantastic projects out there. For example, right? Seller is a really good project from technically. It's got a great use case. It works very well. The code is, from what I understand, again, not as a professional programmer, but somebody who knows a little, very, very clean, very beautiful. But I don't see too many monetization opportunities for Seller, right? So it is unclear to me, and I understand the use case of the token. It is unclear to me why holding that is valuable. For example, holding Algo makes sense as to why it's valuable. So when you are looking for altcoins to invest in for the long run. So you're considering that this is going to be something that's successful in, let's say, normal day-to-day operations, like Apple is valuable or Google is valuable, for example, right? Then you kind of want to look for things that can make money. That's just the way things are. Now, for the rest of us, or not really for the rest of us, for the majority of times, or for the majority of the time frame preferences that we're looking at, we're looking to ride the speculative bubble wave like we did back in 2016 and 2017, and like we did in and like we're doing currently right now with a lot of these altcoins, because it's in a time and an environment where just about anything pumps. Doesn't really matter what its use case is. More deals with the slickness, the hype, the marketing. Those things are going to move quite fast because everybody's piling in for yield, and we have more money, more capital, more liquidity sloshing around. Which, by the way, I want to advise you guys on this. The gains that you saw back in 2016, 2017, right? It is unlikely that we are going to see those same gains again. It is very likely, and as much as people want to hype this up, there are certainly going to be some that outperform, right? Long-term investments aside, things like Bitcoin, which I know in the future will be extremely valuable. But considering the height of this speculative wave, like where the blow off top will come, when the euphoric rush will end, are we going to get 100x, 50x, 25x, 10x? I would safely bet that it would be roughly half of the overall gains that we got last time. Like if you looked at the cumulative gains the market put in last time during the speculative wave, everything that pumped and dumped, I would say we do about half of that this time. The reason why is because there's far more liquidity in the cryptocurrency system. And the more liquidity there is, that equals less volatility because you have more individuals vying for the same yield. And unfortunately, I don't hear many people say that. This is just math. This is just market structure. This is just the way markets work. The more participant, like for example, look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin is volatile, but it's not as volatile as say, NPXS, right? Or holochain. And the reason why is because there's less liquidity. The more liquidity in a market, the less volatile it is because you have more willing buyers and sellers at every potential price level. The lack of available buyers and sellers causes slippage or causes gaps or causes inefficiencies in the market. And that's how you get these big moves, because you need to jump from price to price to price to get your orders filled when you are aggressively executing market orders. So keep that in mind when you are kind of planning what your take in this is. What's the word on MCO and Crow? I don't have a strong opinion on Crow. I mean, it's just been pushing, it was pushing to the upside for a very long time. We'll take a look at the chart if you want here in just a little bit. But as far as MCO, again, I still think that Crypto.com has set themselves up to be in a pretty good spot. I purchased some MCO around $4. As I said, I'm kind of holding out for cheaper prices. Ideally, I'd like to purchase MCO at like $3 and then maybe accumulate some at $2. So we'll see. MCO is certainly one that I would like to have if we have another wave here in like 6 weeks, or if we continue on right now. But it's not something that I'm actively accumulating right now at this price. I do want to see cheaper price in MCO, but I do think that MCO is a good hold. It's something that I'm interested in. It's something that I don't want to say I slept on. I had some from the get-go, but I didn't have as much as I wanted to really get the card that I wanted. So it's one of those things. Everybody wants the card. There's a good use case for it. They set themselves up to kind of aggressively kind of attract attention away and user base away from the other big retail. Hey, just buy crypto with your credit card or sign up, download the app, buy crypto. Coinbase, all those people, Square and whatnot. So yeah, I think they got a good business model. They're doing well, and they got this whole cartel thing with the CRO. So it's pretty neat. Like it's a good coin to hold. It's a good project, and they're doing pretty well. There's another question here. Something about Tyler said he's trying to sign up under the members come home discount, but I cannot figure out where to input the discount code. Please get back to me. I'm Joe Mom on Discord. On the sign up page, where you enter your information and your payment details, there is a blue text. I cannot exactly remember what text bubble it's under, but it says, "Do you have a code?" ? Click here, and you click there, and you have, and then it'll pop up another text bubble, and you can put your discount code in there, my friend. And if you have any trouble, just get a hold of me or Ben or any of the staff or admins on the Discord channel, or send an email to support. Help you out. All right, to the technicals. Sorry. Here on the one-day chart, the only negative thing that we had come in yesterday for this system was the MACD leader, the confirmer crossing below the zero line. And the standard rules of a PTP structure are if your initiator or confirmer turn bearish means you're out of the trade. It's an early exit signal. It saves us, it's generally, with a good system, which this is, it saves you in the long run over a series of trades far more P&L than you would otherwise have. It saves you quite a bit of pain. It saves you from more pronounced pullbacks. It saves you from getting your stop loss hit, meaning that you're only losing maybe a 0.25% of your account on a losing trade, or 0.5%. Or 1% instead of 2%, or whatever your risk percentage is for your trade. Now, seeing that the current candle is green, nobody's happy when they sell on a red candle, but it is what it is. So, and we don't have, as I said, full confirmation of a continued push up here, though that is my sentiment. So the MACD leader crossed below the zero line, indicating on yesterday's candle close that the statistical probable thing to do is to close the trade out. That is what I signaled for the group to do. And again, discretion comes in here with how individuals want to end up playing their trades. At the end of the day, you're in charge of your own account. Now, for example, on the strategy that I'm running for the Bybit competition, and on my primary account, for example, that did not. So I actually held my positions open. I'm actually back up a little bit, still in drawdown though, as you guys can see from the WSOT, because again, I began scaling in on this green candle and then added on the second, on this green candle right here. It was actually slightly lower because it was about 2 hours before the daily close. Made the first entry for a leverage long, and then I scaled in at the close of this candle. Did not end up adding on yesterday's candle because there's no reason to add to a losing position if it's continuing to go down. At least that is my philosophy. And we'll see how this plays out. The trade did not hit the posted stop loss. So again, we were able to preserve some capital in that. But we do not see our initiator here, the QQE mod, going negative. And the IFT RSI, which is the proper exit indicator, so this is kind of interesting, is giving us an exit signal on the daily, which is nice. So if one had seen the confirmer go below zero line, and if they'd been trading a PTP structure for a while, not recommended, but I can understand if people were like, listen, this is a 2-day pullback. I'm bullish. I'm going to hold this trade open. It's near the stop loss. So what's the risk between 0.75% of my account being lost or 1%? It's worth the risk. So I can understand that. That's a well-measured statistical decision to keep a position open. And I would really only do that or recommend doing that if you're relatively close to your stop loss anyways. Like if you're almost there, if you actually measure out the P&L and you're like, all right, I'm going to lose $1,500 versus $1,800. Listen, that $300 does matter. Those little dividends do add up, and that can make a huge difference in your trading account, for example, right? So for example, if you're losing $100 on every losing trade, and let's say you win 6 out of 10 trades, which is really good. If you're losing $70 or $100 per losing trade, and because you implement a rule that on average makes you lose $75 per trade, well, depending on how many trades you take per month, that really adds up at the end of the year, right? That's a cell phone bill for a year. That is a car payment for it. It can be a lot of money, right? And then you can scale your account balance up or down. This is all relative to your capital. So I do find that interesting and kind of I guess it's nice that the exit indicator is properly signaling for an exit on an up candle, which is nice to see. A better price, a better exit price, and then we can kind of wait for some nice confirmation because it won't really take that much. The MACD leader here will have to kick back up above zero to confirm the long trade, but again, the initiator is well positioned, right? A few bullish green candles, something appearing a breakout, and this would look okay. And again, for those who are trading with some discretion, I will again repeat that the other two setups that we could look for here, not really with discretion, these are PTP objective setups, are reversals within the trend. So for example, one could use bottom feeder or the reversal indicator of their choice to look for a bottom signal, to see a signal of a bottom or a reversal buy, because the trend is still bullish by my watch. The other setup that we could look for is a reversal baseline bounce. I know that traders who are using insensitive baselines, for example, like the Hall 60 or the EMA 13 or the Donchian 26, which are very popular and good baselines, the Donchian 26 actually is still set up for a RBB. Attempted to take the reversal baseline bounce. They were not rewarded. Well, and perhaps some of them were. Again, we'll have to kind of look up where it is, but it looks like it came roughly down to the area. I know the Hall 60 did not, because the Hall 60 had caught up. And the Hall 60 does this thing where it tracks price really well when it trends, but then like the moment it goes sideways, the Hall 60 kind of like turns real sharply, and you can For that reason, sometimes you don't get the best RBBs, but sometimes you do. Again, it's all over a series of months of years of trading the system. So for me, anyways, the reversal baseline bounce area to watch for is still around 10,600. Currently, we see the super trend is at 10,617, which is right at, and has been for a while, right at this area of liquidity that we formed 2 times. We can see the low of this doji following this pump, find liquidity here, and we can see the initial strongest sell-off following this range found liquidity in that area as well. So buyers are there. Likely buyers are still there. And so again, the way to play an RBB is to set a limit order there and see what happens. The other way that's a little bit more active is to watch what price does at that area. Does price go down? Does it stop? Does it put in some green candles? Does it move up a little bit and then move down and form a higher low and then push off? Those are common price action things that I watch for if I want to feel somewhat confident that something's going to happen here, or more likely to happen here. Really thirsty today, guys. All right. So overall, chart looking bullish, no objective signals today except for an exit signal for the daily swing trade that was generated actually right here. Continuation signal right here and failed breakout. We got a fake out. This is the first fake out from this system since I think maybe not here. I think since right here in the back testing. I think there was the last fake out was right here. Other than that, this thing has been very, very good. Let's take a look at the Donchian system for another example. All right, as we can see here, still above the Donchian 26, so this is good. No entry signal for a long from the trending indicators. In fact, the TSI, the True Strength Index, quite an insensitive indicator, but quite good, is crossed under its signal line. So no long signal here. Dynamic money flow is bullish, so money is pouring into Bitcoin rather than leaving it, according to this indicator. And time transformation has the ability here to bottom above 0, which that is a continuation signal that Alex, for example, really likes to watch for. And again, we are still in a bullish trend per the Donchian 26. RBB around the $11,400 area. So more aggressive there. All right, let's take a look at our roadmap, look at price action and market structure. Okay, as we can see, we have still, and this is not a confirmed low, because as I said, for a low, you need at least one candle on either side to close with higher lows. But we do see that so far, and I do feel that we are going to close roughly this way unless something weird happens. We do see the rest of the markets roughly recovering. But 2-day pullback, green candle currently. As we can see, we did come right back down and retest, I would not say the cleanest line of resistance, but there was some panic, there was some additional fear, and that caused some additional slippage, I think. So kind of pushing down into the middle, right? As we can see, kind of the middle of this range, almost closer to the bottom of it. This consolidation range right here is what I'm talking about. This area, this area of candle bodies. Bouncing off the top of the green box area that I had drawn out as our take profit zone for the long, the rectangle top long that we had called in this section right here. Not until roughly right about here, but still good long. And has the potential here. What we could be seeing is just a 2-day pullback followed by a higher low and continuation, which is overall my sentiment and what I'm looking to trade. Weekly time frame chart. We are still getting that rejection, that seeming rejection, it seems, or let's say pushback, because it's not rejection yet. We haven't really rejected here on any significant way on the weekly time frame, but we are forming a weekly doji. It is getting later in the week. It is Thursday. And as we kind of creep into the weekend, or at least tomorrow, because many individuals are going to just be trading the CME chart, this starts to look a little concerning, right? Like a doji, what does a doji say? A doji says that the buyers and sellers at this price level are roughly equal. And, in this example, we can see the buyers pushing price up and the sellers stepping in finally and saying, you shall not pass 12,000. No, not today, sir. And that is currently the case. So if sellers are able to distribute their funds aggressively enough here at 12K, we could see a more pronounced pullback here on the weekly time frame. These things take time. Even on the weeklies, things need to breathe. So if we were to experience a weekly pullback, I could see price going down again to the $10,600 level, maybe even $10,300. That would be a little, the closer to 10,000 we get, the little bit more like, this looks like it could be worse to me. But again, there's also the potential of really coming down and retesting previous resistance at support around 9,800, 10,000. So I won't really be in an active position at that point in time. I'll be hedged and I'll be just waiting for price to put in signs of bullish bottoming, on a more significant level. But certainly the weekly has been looking good, and we'll see how this plays out. So it's okay if you're feeling cautious and uncertain in the market. Being cautious and uncertain is not an indication that you don't know what's going on. It's an indication that you are aware that, hey, this seems like a dangerous area of the market to just be throwing capital around, okay? It can pay to be aggressive and consider continuation, which again is my sentiment. But when it comes down to what buttons do you press, you want to be discerning. You want to be cautious. You want to be careful with your risk. And again, I think a lot of individuals, it seems to be this way. People were trading this market up, and just over the last few weeks, people were starting to get sloppy, most likely, right? Larger position sizes, buying just kind of randomly, looking for opportunities or strategies or setups that are really not in their wheelhouse, trying out untested strategies, switching things up, being more aggressive with their take profit targets, right? Thinking, oh, why am I trading so conservative? Look at all this money. And then once you think that way, it's like, it's a phase. You think that way and you're like, nah. And then you keep trading, price keeps going up, the market keeps going up, and you're like, oh, okay, I need to be more aggressive. And then the market keeps going up, and then you're like, I'm going to be more aggressive. And you get sloppy with your take profits or your stop loss or your position sizes or whatever. And then you get wrecked. Like, not wrecked. I know, like, for example, I had to close out 6 losing trades yesterday for the premium signal service, right? Now, our win-loss ratio for the month is still above 60%. It's very good. That's the 6 trades did not hurt that much. But again, it gave back, like, we were up over 30% on actual capital this month alone, and it gave back like 8 of that. And that is why. And that is with proper position sizing and proper settings for all trades. So what I'm trying to say is, individuals, right? Individuals following the premium signal service were up 30% on their total account balance as of, let's say, 3 days ago. And over the last 2 days, they've had to give back 8% of that, meaning they're up 22%. It's a fantastic monthly gain. But what that means is, if you were not that disciplined as we are with our premium signal service, then you likely gave back 20, 30 more. I mean, there certainly are individuals in the market that were wrecked on this movement. Maybe not wiped out or liquidated, some were, but the reason why is just really one thing: lack of discipline, lack of following the rules. Position sizing on every trade, no matter where, no matter how, no matter what you think, no matter what you believe, no matter what your buddy says, no matter what Reddit says, no matter how bullish the YouTube videos say the market is. Proper position sizing, because you do not know what's going to happen in the future. And eventually you're going to buy into a breakout that just dumps on you. And you need to make sure that that loss is not limited. You need to be more afraid of the losses than you are greedy for the gains. And that has allowed me to do this for a long time through multiple different market cycles. When I see other people who objectively sometimes make more money than me in the short term blow it eventually. And I just keep on swimming. So I don't know. That's how I do things. And I hope you guys see the value in that, because it has worked. And I have been able to watch some very, very talented and smart and gifted young men and women, realistically, majority men, couple gals, but change their lives, become professionals, and utilize trading to improve their lives and earn capital and live a life of freedom. And that is what this is all about. All right, finding Justin. Where is he? Okay, zooming out just a little bit. Market cap dominance. Of course, we are seeing a red day in market cap dominance. I hate saying this because this is basically it's a common complaint for crypto YouTubers. But as I predicted on Sunday's video, I talked about Bitcoin dominance. I've been talking about Bitcoin dominance every day, and I've said this for the last 3 days, but I said it first this time on Sunday. And I said, listen, guys, looking at market cap dominance, it seems like we have formed a new swing low in a bearish trend. We're likely going to get somewhat of a correction here. So you could aggressively dump your altcoins and buy back in following a pullback, because we're probably going to get one. I wasn't certain that BTC was going to have a pullback. I thought BTC USD was actually going to move up. I was bullish. I was wrong about that. This is what happened. We have had a correction of Bitcoin dominance. So money has flown into Bitcoin in a bearish trend for Bitcoin dominance, meaning the alts are in charge. And I think this is a sufficient pullback, right? That's a nice, like almost 80% pullback for this last leg down. So again, the overall trend of this market, or excuse me, this chart is bearish. I think that this is likely to resume. Or the probability is that it will resume. So again, if you're looking how this translates to setups, this would suggest that, okay, we've had a pullback in altcoins. Let's look for some altcoins to re-enter on reversals within the trend or reversal baseline bounces, optimum prices, and let's ride those up regardless of what Bitcoin does. But it kind of depends on what Bitcoin does, as Bitcoin dominance drops down here a little bit, as it has been doing for months. Of course, this could be the bottom of Bitcoin dominance. Altcoins have seen their day. Money's going to flow into Bitcoin. However, that's typically not how the altcoin cycle ends. Usually, and this has happened twice now, previously, like on long time frames, Bitcoin at some point kind of moons and starts selling off. And as Bitcoin dominance sells off, the altcoins put in their exit pumps. That's usually how it happens. Usually, it ends with a bang. So, and if you're watching for that bang, you can kind of see it. And it just, certainly like last week could be considered the bang, but if it was, lame. You know what I mean? Like, we weren't even on the news, really, Just trying to get, once I see XRP USD's price talked about on the mainstream media, that's the sign, guys. It's the sign. It's a sign that it's over. You have to go. It's time to sell. So, yeah, Robert, what was that? Cut your losses quickly. Let your winners run. Yes, absolutely. And again, that has contributed greatly to my problem. We have so much open, unrealized P&L in the group too, because of our Forex trades, some CFD trades, some ETF trades, and some crypto trades. So those big winners, when you close them out, tasty. All right, so let's go look at what should we be looking to pick up. Oh, sorry, I wanted to look at the lower time frames here for BTC. All right, so on the hourly here, we can see the sell-off all the way down from about 12,500 all the way down to where we currently seem to have bottomed around 11,600, about a $1,000 correction. Now, a few things here that do look positive. Again, good wicks here indicating buy-side absorption, or excuse me, sell-side absorption, that there is sufficient demand. We see a little bit of a spring here, so we get some range. We test resistance, or we form resistance, let's say, but that resistance was the previous bottoming right here where there was liquidity. So again, the market goes from liquidity, searching for liquidity, which was, there's an argument for an order block liquidity, kind of an argument there, but let's move on. So the market went from liquidity to liquidity to liquidity, back to liquidity to liquidity. Can I reach liquidity? High or low? Testing liquidity again. All right. So we are testing the resistance, attempting to break above 11,900, let's call it. Okay. And again, I think the moon number in people's eyes is that $12,000 mythical number. Okay. Whatever. Sure. I'm willing to accept its import to us as a psychological level. So listen, just some simple basic things here. You really do not want to see price break 11,700. We've already put in a double bottom and a sweep, as in we can see here that traders who bought either on the hammer candle, or who bought on, just for any reason, right? Reversal. We can see that ISISpot gives a reversal signal here. And CM Williams VixFix gives a reversal signal here. Funding is positive. A lot of people are buying this up. Now, I don't have a strong opinion on the nature of positive funding near bottoming. I mean, what I instinctually want to say is, like, contrarily as it may seem, like, I like that. I like the fact that the market is buying the dip. It makes sense to me. You see positive funding. Positive funding when the market is like unsure generally leads to a pullback, like price moving down, because retail traders are getting too net long. But it also happens when the market is legitimately bullish, and overall it is. So positive funding can indicate that we are going to continue to move up. So this is neutral for me as far as the funding rate. As far as just price action and chart structure go, what I see here is a consolidation range, and you trade the breakout, right? Here, I would be looking for a higher low above 11,700. So a higher low than was generated right here. That would be that price action setup that I talk about all the time, where we've tested resistance multiple times and we're moving sideways in a range. And then we form a higher low that is greater than 50%, the 50% line between the range high and the range low. Right, so as we can see here, we've got roughly a range high around the $11,600 area, and we've got a range low there, and a range high around 11,900. We've tested that area twice, and so if we form a higher low, like roughly around 11,750, 11,800, that would be something I'd be willing to throw some capital at for the attempted breakout trade. So that's an optimum entry. That's a reversal entry-ish on a breakout trade, rather than buying on the breakout, which can be messy to say the least. You know, like, do you buy the candle? Do you buy the candle close? Do you buy the next candle close? Do you have to open and close? Do you buy the pullback? There's lots of different ways. Everybody has a slightly different strategy. I like to trade the BPC, but I will be frank, sometimes that results in missed trades because you do not actually get your entry because price just pops up. So yeah, watch this area closely. We do have an opportunity here to push to the upside. And if price dips down below 11,700, if we form a low below 11,700, that's a warning sign, right? We've already put in a higher low. I'd like to hold that and continue pushing up. So we need to see some strength from the buyers here. We need to see a breakout. And again, what we really need to see here is a higher high. We need to see a higher high because we haven't even seen a higher high on the hourly yet. So just be cautious of this area. Again, I think being aggressive, I think being bullish is smart here. This is an area I'd like to short, but just position size wisely and take a good setup, right? And have an invalidation area. Again, for me, it would be fairly tight. You know, if we're putting in lows below 11,700, whatever setup I was trying to, the several setups that I just talked about are invalidated. It means get out of the trade, right? Now you can wait for a correction if you want to trade like that, but just know what you're doing. And overall, I think the higher time frames are going to be a little bit better for letting us know where we're going. All right, so now let's look at the overall crypto market. It is, wow, 12:43. How do I do that? Like, how do I talk about Bitcoin for like literally an hour? All right, so let's just refresh here. Again, we can see good gains coming in from the cryptocurrencies, from the altcoins here. This is why we're having such a significant movement here in, in Bitcoin dominance. And again, good gains. I mean, good gains here. So this is actually quite positive to me. Looking at the altcoins and seeing their resurgence, the strength of this buyback instills a lot of confidence. Big candles, big gains, a lot of excitement, a lot of interest coming in buying the dip. This would suggest that there actually is quite a bit more room left to run for these altcoins. Again, be cautious. As I said, don't repeat the mistake that you just made, because it's possible that you might make the second mistake, which is after a loss, doubling down, right? Or over risking because you want to get your losses back. You don't do that. You go back to your strategy, you go back to your system, you go back to your risk management, and you trade the right way so that that doesn't happen again, right? And you will, over time, make money. You'll make money, I mean, when you win a trade, but that loss, if you took a big loss, if you over risked and then got dumped on, and then you want to over risk again on the pullback, you're just repeating the same mistake. Yes, it might pay off this time, but it instills in you the habitual tendency to do it again, which eventually you will do it again at the wrong moment and get wrecked twice, and then maybe 3 times, and then 4 times. And you cannot afford to do that. You have to treat your money like a poker bankroll, right? As long as you have money, you can stay in the game. If you lose your money, you out. Gameplay. Thank you, my friend. Good to have you on the channel. All right. Usual Suspect says Utrust is looking healthy. I would say almost all altcoins are looking relatively healthy right now, my friend. Peckham says my Numenair trade, touche. Shout out to Philly from Manchester. Only the Best says Bombaclat. What's up? Let's see here. Philly thinks that price pulling like that is also a road sweeper candle to clear way for a bullish breakout. Thank you so much, Alex, over there on the Twitch. Reminding us we can resubscribe if you have Prime, absolutely free over there on Twitch. Thank you so much. Shout out to everybody watching on Twitch. Only the Best alts are looking good. Yes, yes, yes. All right. Big gainers of the day. YFI, of course, Yearn Finance, DeFi putting it in. Numenaire, as was mentioned. Omisa Go. Omisa Go, you dirty dog. Largely quiet for the bull market. Putting in a 50%er. I see you. Blockstacks. Love Blockstacks. Good project. Hold Blockstacks. Cosmos putting in 10% gain roughly. Kava Labs up 8%. Lend, Aave, one of the most popular coins out there in the DeFi sector, 12.4%. Ocean, more DeFi, 12.3%. And then we've got BNT. BNT's cool, but I think it's less cool than YFI, now worth more than 1 Bitcoin a piece. That is insane. Loopring. Yep. So an EWT. So still the overwhelming excitement coming in for the DeFi coins. This is the thing. This is the desire. Link down 5%. I want to focus on that. Let's go to Link. Why 5% on Link? Were the whales really dumping, as we talked about in our Link video the other day when we focused on Link? Is the party really over for Link? Is there no hope? Are you not entertained? Oh, I have too much fun with the show. Let's look at Link. As I said, I think this is a buying opportunity. Maybe not right this second, but what do we see? We see signs of a struggle. Look at this candle right here. This is a red candle. This is the third day of pullback here on Link. Okay. We run into some liquidity, which makes sense. Near previous, again, actually right at previous resistance. Looking for resistance turn support. Just normal, classic, like day one trading things. Day one learning how to trade stuff. Followed by a doji. Now, we don't immediately start pushing up. The sellers are showing their strength here, but we are above the super trend at 1332. We talked about that liquidity pocket at 1470, right? And where did we stop? 1470. Go back and watch the video. We said liquidity pocket at 1470. That is where over, what is it? I think 1.6 million or something. Just a large number of market participants entered the market. Right? We know that from not only the wallet holding data, but also execution data. And that was the wall, 1470. A lot of the new wave of Link holders entered at 1470. Meaning, just so you guys understand this, when I say that new market participants entered at 1470, what does that mean? Well, they bought at 1470. Okay, and who did they buy from? From previous holders. Meaning that a large amount of previous Link holders thought that $14.70 was a fair price to sell at. We don't know where they bought in. We can only speculate. But let's just assume, because we know it was a lot, that they felt it was time to sell. Now, that doesn't mean they're right. It also doesn't mean they're wrong. Okay? What I would do here, because I am interested in taking Link to the upside. Again, it's just one of the more volatile coins, right in my wheelhouse. This is what I like to trade. I would watch to see if 1470 holds. This might take a few days. This might take a week. If we start closing daily candles below 1470, I would have to wait. I mean, I think that discretionarily, I would be thinking that, okay, well, it seems like we're going to crash that liquidity pocket and wreck these noobs who bought at 1470. It seems like the previous whales were right. And let's see how far this thing goes down. We might even enter into a bearish trend on Link, which is okay, right? Like, Link, Link, it's always like this. It's not just Link holders. It's not that it's 4chan. It's not anything. I think that from what I understand, Link seems to be in my opinion, from my research, like not that super special of a project, right? It is a marketplace for oracles. It's questionable exactly how much technical development has been done. There's not a lot of third-party auditing. I haven't seen a very technical and professional review of the code base. And I have for other good projects. So I'm not saying that Link is a bad project, technically. I'm not saying that it is going to dump like to zero and not be worthless. It could be everything it is made out to be and more. I don't know, because in my opinion, and from what I can understand, the team has not made a lot of attempts to do that. And if you're watching and you're a strong link supporter and you have some objective evidence to refute my suggestions, please share that, right? If you just want to like yell and be like, fuck you, Link, go to $40, like, you're probably going to say that anyways, because that seems to be the kind of person you are, if you would say that, right? But please let me know in the comments section down below or post something in the live chat or get a hold of us in Discord, because I am interested in objective facts and information and data. I'm not Sergey. I didn't build Link. I don't own the Link project. I only stand to profit if I hold the coin and it goes up. That's it. It's the only way I can make money off Link. It's not personally making my life better, so there's no reason to be emotionally involved in it, especially because I'm already emotionally involved in several other things in my life. You can only afford to invest emotionally in so much, right? You have to, if you're smart, you'll end up pulling back from a lot of things and investing emotionally in the things that are worth it. Hardcore. That's the way to live. All in on love, baby. But having said that, yeah, I guess that's really all I have to say. That was kind of like doom and gloom, right? And let's just stop being a nerd, dude. Link to $1 million by the end of the day. Fucking send it, dude. Let's go. I just market bot right now. Believe me? Call my bluff, motherfucker, dude. All right. Maybe after the show. All right. So we have a few technical setups here, of course. We've got the reversal baseline bounce, or reversal within the trend, or simply waiting for continuation. There has not been an exit signal here on Link. I want to point that out. Neither the confirmer or the initiator turning below zero, because they're both centered oscillators, or giving centered oscillator signals. So there is not currently reason to, if you're in a swing trade on Link, which for this most recent trade, we would have entered right here, right? Entered long on Link right around like $9.26 and signaling for an exit around $16 maybe. Not a bad trade. Pretty damn good trade. Almost a double up. So yeah, let's watch. Current resistance up around the $20 area. A lot of individuals entering around $18 or $19. But again, those are the rec noobs anyways. The majority of liquidity entering at $14.70. We're about $2 above that. So about $1.50, excuse me. So just be cautious, breaking up here above $16, excuse me, not $16, really let's see here, $17.50, I think. Breaking this current level of resistance would seem to be good. Let's go down to the lower time frames and see what we can kind of see. What kind of looks like Bitcoin right now. We kind of seem to have formed that same kind of consolidation where we put in, some bottoming here, going up to test resistance, consolidating, and we seem to be kind of rejecting from that right now. Haven't put in a lower low. This does start to look negative, but of course you tend to feel that way when you are looking at red candles on the chart. All right, so still, this is unclear to me and not necessarily something that I would want to buy. That's a lie. I do kind of want to buy Link, right? I do kind of want to like start buying Link here, but again, don't buy the first dip. It's a lesson that served me very well in life, and let's just see what happens, right? Yeah, T-Dub says, yeah, Kyber Network's turn. Let's go. Everybody into Kyber Network. Rec Noobs TM. Forexmeister. All right, let's look at what else. What else is down today? AMPL. Okay, so I've been looking at AMPL, right? I made a video on AMPL, and some people came back and they were like, listen, dude, what you said about AMPL was incorrect. It is not a stable coin. I get it. It's not. I know. Perhaps I shouldn't have used those words. But I did. And who cares? It's a shitcoin. And so AMPL, though, is very, very cheap. Now, the thing here that I understand from, what I understand about AMPL, of the research that I've done, it rebalances, right? So it's essentially a magic coin. And the speculators that I know who are doing quite well in the DeFi sector are avoiding rebalancing coins basically at all costs, which is interesting because it does imply that the general consensus among those who are making money in DeFi is that it's not a good investment. That's not something that's good to hold. So that kind of sparks something in the back of my mind where I'm like, okay, so I'm going to avoid it. However, that does set up a contrary bid because they're not always right. So I'm going to be doing a little bit more research into this. Yeah, price volatility gets replaced by coin quantity volatility. Yes. So I want to do a little bit more research into AMPL And I do want to caution you guys, because I am looking at this chart, and this does seem, with everything that's going on, this seems like something that looks relatively attractive. You're like, man, that looks pretty cheap. This is an altcoin that's completely sold off when everything is pumping. That means that although I could be completely borked on this trade, you know, this is the kind of chart where you're like, all right, look, I'm gonna buy $1,000 with this. I'm gonna put it away, and we'll see what happens, right? For all the, listen, 99% of my trades are regulated, risk managed, proper, position sized, technical. But guys, this is crypto. If you think that I don't have 4 or 5 moonshots, you know, coins where I'm like, all right, here's $1,000. Let's see what happens. I mean, I'm not dead, okay? Like, I'm 32. I live a little, okay? If you guys would like to know what my 4 or 5 moonshot coins are, we need to see over 100 likes on this video. Let's go, guys. Pre-recorded video. EWT, Blue Blocks territory. Not saying you're wrong, but you are not right. That's a lot of people's moonshots. Most of mine are a little different. I think you guys would be surprised. Let's get this 100 likes and you'll find out. All right, so Link. I'm not going to say aggressive to buy here. We got stopped at 1470 and we see dojis and signs of consolidation. So it's not a terrible buy. It's speculative, right? It's speculative. It's close to a reversal baseline bounce. I would like to see a few more signs of bullishness, and it does currently seem like we might be rejecting from the current range on the lower time frames. But it makes sense. I understand. Link's been performing very well. There's a lot of hype. There's a lot of liquidity. But just be aware that, you know, there is some concerning evidence out there about Link, and potentially we might dip lower. Now, I think that if we do dip lower, we could. It really depends on how this plays out, guys, because I want to give you guys some very accurate information and my experience in the cryptocurrency markets. You know, if we start pushing up from here broadly across the markets, which we seem to do, but one day does not a trend make, we could come in and get the same amount of red tomorrow, then likely we're going to just keep pushing up, right? If we put in a few more green bullish candles here, then likely we're going to continue to rip. Great, cool, awesome. But if we like dip hard here, like if we break trends, if we put in another like week or two of bearishness, I'm not sure that we're just going to V bottom back up from it. You know, it might be that we need a cool off period, right? I mean, this happened in 2016, right? Like we cooled off for a while in altcoins, and we sold off pretty hard and then moved sideways for a while. Bitcoin was still doing its thing, but altcoins took a break. And then it was like, I mean, it was a while. It was like into the next year until we started up again. And then when we started up again, we started up hard, but granted. He says, Philly says, no sellers, price action can be like ping pong on tiny numbers of coins. Yep. RN 3037, let's go. KSM, baby. And I know because of KRS1. Zon, welcome to the channel, my friend. Who's ever seen a green bull? 99. So what's your moonshots, my ninja? All bulls leaving the start. Did we get over 100 likes? No. We didn't. Do I have to refresh the page? No. I see 46 likes. Sorry, guys. Gotta bring your friends in. You know, like I'm gonna assume for about like 20% of my audience, like yell into the other room, you know, say, you know, mom, dad, brother, cousin, sister, uncle, whatever. Will you please log on to YouTube and like this video? I got you guys. I'll put if it happens, if we get over 100 likes on this video, I will put up, and I've never made a video like this, but I will put it up this weekend, you know, like what are the 4 or 5 altcoins that you have to buy? Like hot. I'll put hot in the title. I'll put the word hot in the title. Hot cheap altcoins. Oh man, I love my life. Okay, what else is down? Link, Nest, Uma, REN. Of course, that's been a big mover. Let's look at REN. Is REN a pullback buying opportunity? You know, DeFi cannot stop talking about REN. Hot cheap altcoins, dude. You want some meat? And Bates says, ouch, man. Sorry, what, dude? I said, I said 20% of my audience. That means 80% of you guys are responsible, handsome, mature, adult men doing adulting. But like, listen, 20% of you, come on, guys. It's okay. Blockchain gains. Thank you so much, my friend. Heisenberg, welcome to the channel. S180XT, requesting Phantom. Yes, yes. All right, REN. Again, same thing. REN, I think, is looking attractive in the same way. REN is looking attractive in the same way that the Link is. And fundamentally, again, if I had a list of coins that I'm like, man, these things are bullish, I gotta get on a pullback, REN and Link would be on that list. They are on that list. So REN's on my watch list for pullbacks here. And we don't see any bottoming behavior yet. I need to see some liquidity. I need to see a stop somewhere. We can see here that the liquidity that we ran into was around 42.421 cents. So that's an area to watch to see if the bulls hold. I would like to see a reversal within the trend. I really don't want to see a reversal baseline bounce here. I don't really want to see price go all the way down to 32 cents. Like, that's a steep pullback, but a pullback that implies we might not V-bottom out of it, because that would likely be in line with the rest of the market pulling back more broadly. So I really don't want to see that. So REN and Link. The other alternative here is that REN and Link have just like they've run their course for right now, and those are going to sell off harder because they've already pumped harder. And then some of the other coins, like we see on Misa Go and other things that really haven't moved yet. Hey, M Bates Wise over there. Some of the other coins that haven't moved yet, like Misa Go, for example, they're going to start putting in gains, and the liquidity is just sloshing around in the market. You know, or maybe REN and Link just said like unkind things to CZ, and he was like, all right, I see you. Dump it. You know, do not go against CZ. Duquesne. I say Litecoin to everyone. It's just one of those coins with them all in the wrapper and not for sale. Banned in our swap YFI. Is that for real? Yeah. Have I talked about Dogecoin yet? Not today. For real. How is YFI not being talked about anywhere else? I mean, we have not talked about YFI. We did. I mean, we did. We mentioned it. I mean, look at that motherfucker. Well, let's go look at it. All right. Let's go look at YFI. And ETH. YFI ETH. Yeah, listen, guys. Words. I don't have them. I want to give a big shout out to everybody that bought YFI. It's 342% in, I don't know, a week. A little bit less than a week. And good movements here. Good movements. And listen, just nice, good technical setups here too. Even on this coin. Even on this coin. Kind of indicating that regardless of you know, what people think or where people are at or what people think about DeFi or what people think about trading, like just good, clean rules can guide you and improve your ability to be successful, not guarantee your success, right? So again, just like good setups, what do we see here? Bullish market structure, higher lows, higher lows, higher lows, and then a breakout of resistance that was tested multiple times. We form resistance here, we kind of wick it here, we test it here. So again, we can determine resistance or liquidity, some seller here, which makes sense, guys. Like, you have to understand, some investors have lower time frame preferences, and some investors have higher time frame preferences. And you're going to get a mixture of both at the kind of initial launch of a project, like the initial holders of a project, right? Because that has to kind of deal with speculation and aggression and kind of knowledge dissemination, like who has the knowledge, who knows about this, who has access to this, who can purchase this, right? And Kunal, I am doing fantastic today. I hope you are as well. Let us know in the chat. And yeah, here we go. So if you wanted to get, I think, the best trade setup on this, let's say that you didn't aggressively just buy YFI the second you heard about it, right? I didn't. But you looked for, you know, some sort of structure here, some sort of chart structure to trade. I mean, there's so many things that scream out to you, right? You have a pullback to support, right? And then again, this is price action wise a reversal. We have a hammer candle followed by a bullish engulfing. What more do you want to buy? If you threw any reversal indicator on here, it's likely going to tell you to buy. RSI is likely oversold right here. And then you get a good breakout, look right here, with little wick on a strong candle body close above resistance. So right there, that's a nice breakout buy. And if you had just taken that to here, you'd have an 87% trade. Yes, not a 349% trade that I measured from the bottom, but that's okay. Just an incredible rip. An incredible rip. So YFI doing absolutely fantastic, worth 36.5 Ethereum per coin. So let me make something very, very clear here. You are free to do what you want, and it's possible. It is possible that YFI from right now till the end of the day, week, month, year, century, runs to 100 Ethereum a coin, 60, 70, 80. Don't buy this top, please. Like, don't, please, please. Because anybody that holds YFI right now is looking at absolutely, potentially, life-changing money, right? And again, what's the volume on YFI? Let's go to CoinGecko. I mean, it's millions. So that's life-changing money to people. Like, listen, $120,000 is life-changing money, right? To just about anybody, right? You know? So, you're in finance. There we go. Trending. Yeah, what's the daily volume? So 24-hour trading volume. Yeah, 177 million, excuse me. Yeah, that's beyond life-changing money. And there's a YFI BTC pair on Binance. Yeah, so fully diluted valuation. And we're not even there yet. We're only a quarter of a way to the fully diluted valuation. That's interesting. Or excuse me, no, we got to look at the market capitalization. Excuse me. Ooh, whoa, pull back, pump the brakes. Sorry, market capitalization is 459 million. Fully diluted valuation is 460 million. So again, that is indicating that from the perspective of coin issuance, we're where we should be. 24-hour trading volume is almost, I don't want to say half. Again, it's about 40% of market capitalization. That's a warning sign. I mean, listen, you see those things several times, and it depends on where you're at. You see those kind of numbers on days when you just had the greatest come up of your life, the worst loss of your life, or the days when you are looking to buy or sell, looking to buy something maybe, or get into a position. That is a big red warning sign that, hey, dude, you are about to jump into Thunderdome, right? It is Thunderdome up in this order book right now. do not pass go. Gold holder says, where can I buy and trade crypto with a Visa gift card? I got one thinking I could use it. Depends on where you live. With the Visa gift card, you can type the number in and purchase anywhere. You can purchase with a credit card. So if you are not in the United States, you could use Binance. If you are in the United States, you could use Coinbase or Square. You could use Square Cash, the Square Cash app, or Crypto.com app. Yep, it's Crypto.com app. And Crypto.com, listen, I don't want to plug them too hard, but they do have, it's probably the cheapest place right now to buy crypto because they have a fee-free promotion, I think, till the end of the month, and they're trying to kind of pull liquidity away from people. If you want a link, we can post one in the chat, my friend. Thank you. Yeah, Philly got it right there. The warning is the market cap ratio to daily volume. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Yes. Yep. Racy indeed. All right. Let's see what else we want to look at. Okay. Did I talk about YFI? Alex wants me to look at gear. There was one request prior to that, though. Let's see here. Let's look up here. Let's see if Jason put anything here. Yeah, I think this is a little old. You know, I apologize. Listen, if Ivan X is watching, I apologize, my friend. I did tell you the other day that I would look at Wink, and I did not. So he asked if I could look at any other pair. If I could look at Wink against any other pair but BTC. So I'm going to do that for you, whether you're watching or not. And hopefully somebody links you to this area. So we're going to look at Wink USDT here. Wink USDT is interesting, right? I do like this bottoming behavior. Wink was moving in its accumulation zone. So Wink is a coin here that is clearly near its accumulation zone as opposed to other coins. Big, aggressive push up here on Wink. And kind of a liquidity raid, but a little bit of a lower high there. Honestly, a lower high. Moving in consolidation. Listen, I'm just going to say from chart structure, zoomed out on the daily, knowing that we're in alt season or knowing that the cryptocurrency markets are bullish. This looks like a coin that I would be actually interested in having a position in. Again, you're not going to be able to buy at the lows unless we reject from here, in which case you don't really want to buy there again because we'll probably form a lower low. But Wink is one that hasn't moved that much logarithmically from its bottom. Okay. Again, if we take off the log chart, we can see here that linearly, yes. Okay. But yeah. So again, from a PTP perspective on the daily here, I actually am getting an exit signal today, again, on this kind of pullback, which is good because I would have got an entry here. Yeah, it's not the best, but I would have, I would have made some decent funds on this, right? Would have bought the breakout. It's a good breakout candle. Would have made what, like 20%? Whoa, hold on. Or was that 40%? Yeah, almost 50% on this trade. So I probably would have averaged maybe 30% on the trade with an exit right around here. So not bad. Could have done better if I would have speculatively bought the bottom. But again, lower, higher low in consolidation, a little bit of a Adam, Eve and Adam pattern here. Or no, sorry, Adam and Eve pattern here. Eve and Adam pattern here, which is a pretty decent pattern in crypto. It tends to play out quite a bit. And a little bit of another, not the scallop that I like to see. I like that often like almost leads to breakout. If we've been putting in bottoming behavior as the scallop, we just seashell up. It's like a cup and handle without the cup. And yeah, this actually does not look too bad to me. This does not actually look too bad to me. In fact, this is going to go on my watch list. All right. What else do we got here? What else do we want to look at? Smiles asked about my thoughts on Algo. I did that. Steven Simonovic asked about thoughts on Orion Protocol. It has awesome staking on KuCoin Pool X. They also airdrop mine POL. 40.62%, 7-day lockup. Yeah, I'm not too familiar with Orion Protocol. I haven't done my research on it. I do have an account on KuCoin. I don't actively trade there. I've bought some stuff there. As far as the airdropping and the mining, that's good. Understand that those are incentivizations for individuals to accumulate the coin. So just as with all things, there's a lot of these cool things like earn savings, earn this, earn that, earn rewards. We're gonna blah 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 blah. It's all marketing, man. It's all marketing. Eventually, and I don't know why I'm focusing on Orion Protocol. I don't want you to feel like I'm like, oh, Orion Protocol, what the fuck, why are you holding that? No, it's not that. This is just a general public service announcement. I mean, unfortunately, a lot of these coins are eventually going to get dumped, right? Like no matter like how awesome or how cool or how decent they are, like there's not enough room out there for everything to give these like ridiculous early passive rewards. It can for a while because we're early adopters. So enjoy those rewards while you can, but eventually just have an exit plan. So if that's working out for you, good. I'll look into Orion Protocol. I honestly don't know too much about it. You seem excited about it. My viewers are intelligent people. And so I'm going to look at Orion Protocol. I don't know what I'll find out. You know what? I am self-sufficient. I know how to work a computer and keyboard, and I can do this. ORN. Yeah, I've looked at this. I believe I've looked at this chart before. Come on. I have looked at this. Let's see here. What do we got? 5 million in trading volume. Not bad. Up quite a bit. Up 581% from its lows. Back on July 16th, 1 month ago. Woo, baby. Go you. ERC20 token. Cool, man. DeFi, yeah. Anything DeFi's got like a couple zeros after it. Qtum looking good. Mainnet coming in a week also. All right. Can we short YFI somewhere? No, I don't think so. You could do it. I mean, listen, you can always short something with a contract between another individual, but Alex, no, I'm sorry. I thought my senior analyst, Alexander Pearson. But since you are also named Alex, you want us to look at Dogecoin and Lumens. I like Dogecoin far more than Lumens. So we'll look at Doge. Let's look at Doge USDT. Doge USDT actually ended up entering this trade and then closing it, I think, on the first red candle, right? So this was just recent. Again, putting in a little bit of a correction here with the rest of the market, holding support here. We are at that, 0.3 of a penny price, trading against the dollar tether. I do like Tether. I do like Doge here. I do like Doge. Doge had this massive social media inspired hype train fueled run up. We're trying to get this baby to $1. We're trying to get this baby to a penny, for the love of God. Okay. And I think we can get there. I think we can get there. We are consolidating in a higher range following a bullish movement. The trend is still bullish here. The trend is still bullish here on Dogecoin. I would buy a breakout here. And Dogecoin would be one of those coins here where I would be willing to be more aggressive on. We are forming higher lows. We are putting in a green candle. Potentially the market's going to push up. Low sats are going to fly if that does happen. And I like Dogecoin. I don't see, there is not a signal to go long on Dogecoin. We see the MACD leaders cross below zero. QQE mod is in its bullish area, but not giving a signal. We can see the continuation signal that actually failed. IFT RSI is neutral. And we also have OBV has come really close to the zero line. So it flipped negative for a day, back up in the green now, but very, very weak. Now still confirming bullish trades if everything else was correct. But again, we are above the super trend, meaning that overall the direction is to the long side. We're almost there on the like 70. Come on, guys, you can do it. No Al research translates as white coin quite often. White coin. Not sure I know what that means. SH. Oh, I get it. I get it. You're funny, dude. Spelled with an SH. I get it. Yeah, cool, Alex. I'd love to meet you, my friend. Come meet us at a convention sometimes. We're gonna unfortunately due to COVID, and we weren't able to go to the ones that we wanted to this year. But next year, I want to hit like 4 or 5 conventions. So if you guys, I'll let you guys know where we're traveling around, and as long as you promise not to listen, we're a pretty small channel. I understand that I got to be a little there could be some weirdos out there that try to come mug me or kiss me or something like that. Blah, blah, blah. But listen, I'm a personable guy. I know kung fu. I've accepted my own mortality. I'm gonna go out somehow, some way. So if it's by an overly zealous viewer, I guess that's not too bad. There's worse ways to go out. Up at the gate, St. Peter's like, "Yo, man, how'd you get here?" I'm like, "Dude, you're St. Peter. You should know, right?" He's like, "Listen, quit being a smartass. Just tell me how you got here." And I'm like, "Well, at the age of 32, I was, independently wealthy and just did a YouTube channel for fun and like to talk about what I like to talk about and trade magic internet money and, was pretty successful doing that. And then somebody liked me too much and shot me." That sounds pretty awesome. I'm not going to lie. It's a good story. All right. Who's the we? Who's the we? Is the Queen in Iowa today? No. Heisenberg, welcome back, man. Good to see you, man. Have I seen the new token Layer? It is a Pepsi version of. I think you're asking. Is it a Pepsi version of Unitrade? No, I don't. I haven't looked at Layer yet. Let me put that on the list to look at too. We got to do research this weekend. Let's see. CoinGecko. Let's get some information about it. Layer. Unilayer. Okay. Let's see here. Yeah, it's hard to get a $2 million trading volume. We could go up. All right. Uniswap. And what's the volume on Uniswap? Almost 2 million? I could see it. It's only 75% up from its all-time low. That means it is... what's the ticker? Come on, watch. You're killing me. What was that ticker? Sorry, I didn't grab it. Yeah, LAYR. I thought it was on Uniswap. Maybe it's just not here on Uniswap.vision. Yeah. That's not going to load. Shoot. I always have it bookmarked. We'll check it out here in a bit. All right, listen, that's really something that I should do off stream. But come on now. Okay, cool. Layer. Let's check it out. Let me put that in my notes. Where you at, dude? You guys probably see mine. No, you get. You can't get. Send it to my compadre there. Coinbase is having deposit issues with XLM. Maybe there's something about to happen. Conspiracy theory? Mr. Ether says, read it out loud. Oh, my bad. Yeah, you guys probably can't. You got it. Come on now. Sean Pond says, what's the 1 minute breakdown? Basically, hodl like the yesterday, moon still incoming? Yeah, basically, yes. Bullish trend, be cautious. It's okay to be aggressive, but position size wisely. RJ Jamal says, I'm starting to be bullish on Ripple. Am I crazy? No, I mean, listen. The sun shines on a scam coins holders every once in a while. All right, so XRP put in some good moves over here. It was a laggard like Litecoin, but it finally put in some bullishness. I think we can go higher. It's going to move along with the broader market now. Like the interest, the excitement, it's there. I think that XRP, though, like Litecoin, is going to underperform the market. There's not enough hype, right? Like, XRP is like your grandma's coin. You know what I mean? Like it's not, everybody wants the new, shiny, sleek, sexy DeFi. And that's where the liquidity is gone. That's where the volume is. That's where the money is. Back in 2017 or 2018, it was Litecoin, XRP, Neo, OMG. It's, those were the sleek, sexy coins then. And now speaking of Neo, like Neo's performing well. Alex doesn't see $1 for Doge for a long time, and you're saying soon. Yeah, I don't see $1 for Dogecoin anytime soon. I would be. Listen, you can't predict the tops of things that go parabolic, but looking at Doge, like I would be. Here's the thing about Doge, right? Doge is like a crypto OG coin, right? Like most people don't understand Doge. There are entire there's a cabal. There's a group of like crypto OGs. Like they've been around for a long time, and they use crypto, right? They're living off crypto. They're stacking crypto. They do crypto. They're the old scene, like the privacy scene, almost. Let's call them that, like the old privacy heads. And there are Doge casinos. There are like little Doge shops. Like Doge Doge has a use case, and its primary use case has been like for these guys, these privacy heads, to do things. I don't know how to explain it. Like I understand it, and I think you can conceptualize of it. There's a marketplace for Doge, and it's used by individuals, whether they think it's funny or whether they just fell into it or whatever. And we can see this, like Doge has been used also by them as a hedge, right? You can see tons of liquidity pour into Doge. If you go back and look at the charts and correlate like some, not all, but some market dumps and some fundamental news events, like Doge is pumped. And they've used that, I think, to increase their holdings of whatever they want, Bitcoin or Ethereum, whatever the trading pair is. Doge trades against a lot. And it was one of the earliest coins to trade against a lot because of that reason. Because I'd say these privacy heads have a lot of influence and know a lot of people, and they're cool motherfuckers. And they're good people to know, and it's useful. Doge was useful. And so what I'm trying to say is that the holders of Doge, like the whales of Doge, like they're not stupid, man. They're not stupid. And they are gonna, I would be surprised if they didn't take the opportunity, like we just saw, to just dump on you guys. And it's possible that the whole Doge on social media thing was, well, obviously, like nobody just posted that randomly. Like whoever posted that had a ton of Doge, and they took advantage of the opportunity. So I think that because the retail is yet to come in, we could still see a second or third or fourth or fifth or whatever leg of this Doge. But Doge is a long-term sustainable thing. Like no, it's Doge is it's like a cheat code that's working for a certain connoisseur of cryptocurrency. And eventually it's not going to work because you're going to run out of suckers, but there's a lot of suckers. I hold Doge. But as far as Coinbase having deposit issues with XLM, can anybody else confirm that? X Kyo says, is there any advice for a first-time crypto buyer or investor? Yeah, man. Just the basic things, man. Develop some sort of strategy. Understand that you're not buying anything that is magical. It's cutthroat out here. Don't buy big green candles. Don't buy things that are up, an amazing X amount percent. And if you want to have the ability to hold things for the long term, then you're going to have to understand them and have faith in them. So you need to do some research before you do that, or you're going to make mistakes. So many people, if you've come here for easy money, it doesn't exist, man. If you've come here though because you're like, wow, there's a lot of money being made over here. Yeah, dude, there's a ton of money being made over here. But you got to have your wits about you, man. Can't just be any geek off the streets. You got to be able to handle your piece. Handle a piece of steel, you know what I mean? Dun, 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 dun. And listen, join the Discord, man. A lot of good, helpful people in there. Help you out. Philly would get to the gates via an Excel model. Heisenberg got the mail for the members come home, but you guys don't have the quarterly plan anymore. Can I hit you up in Discord to arrange? Yeah. Get a hold of either me or Ben or send an email to support, and we'll look at kind of exactly what you'd like to get, and look at what we have and see if we can't figure something out. Alex, listen, I'm generally terrible at keeping up with the chat. Or I mean, I think so anyway. Sometimes I can, sometimes I just get way into the charts and I ramble and I talk and blah, blah, blah. Somebody had a good question here. Saw it. Yeah, it's Hardlight 1234 says, would love to hear my take on Bitcoin versus the Dixie correlation. Well, the Dixie is one. Let's go look at the Dixie, right? Because this is important. I've been talking about this for a while, right? I've seen this. I've seen a few other people talk about this now, and now I don't even feel cool talking about it because, it's like when you make a legitimate point related to trading, and then you see. Oh, by the way, sorry. So I have to mention this. I'll make this point, and then this will make sense with this next point. So last night, I was on my mobile device, and I was, if you're a YouTube content creator, you have access to an additional app called YouTube Studio, which lets you kind of go in and look at your channel and you can't really edit videos on mobile, but you can do some stuff like change titles and edit descriptions and things like that, and just kind of view your stats and whatever. So I'm in YouTube Studio because last night a couple people messaged me and they said, hey, your video from yesterday, the audio's off. So I went and checked on it and kind of contacted my team and we fixed it. But as I'm there, I finally, I'm kind of one of those guys that I set things up and then I kind of, sometimes I don't pay attention to everything all the time. I don't mean that in a bad way. I just mean for example, with my phone, you'll get notification after notification after notification from something that you don't want notifications from. And it's usually 2 or 3 days before I'm like, okay, what is this app that's giving me a notification? Long press, turn off notifications, go in, change the settings, right? I'm not immediately see something I don't like and hyper optimization. I'm that way with my trading, but not with my phone. And I've just been getting these notification after notification after notification of videos I am not interested in watching, right? Listen, I don't want to say anything blatantly disrespectful. I will to a couple of them, these schmucks, but a lot of these other crypto YouTubers, I have no interest in watching. I do not care what your video is. You don't have anything interesting to say to me. I don't care about your analysis, and I don't care about what scam you're pumping, right? Which unfortunately is what a lot, not all. There's some good out there. I've had some of them on the show, but yeah, there's a lot of there are a lot of unscrupulous, shady, and unintelligent YouTubers out there that specialize in crypto. So be on the watch out. But for some reason, I was subscribed to all of them. So I just want to say, and I know how it happened because, well, listen, I don't know, but I suspect how it happened. A previous member of the team, he's gone on to found his own business and do his own thing. He's doing absolutely fantastic. Shout out to you, my brother. Much love. He used to be in charge of the social media and YouTube channel, like as far as setting things up and descriptions and titles and all that things, right? Titles. And I think that I know he did. This is how it happened. I know he subscribed. He just was like, oh, okay, we got to be subscribed to all the YouTube channels. That'll help us like show up in feeds and associate us with blah, blah, blah. Maybe he's right. Maybe I have done a disservice by unsubscribing from all these people, but you will be damned if you come to my channel and see what I'm subscribed to and you see Crypto Crew University, Crypto Kirby, the Moon, any of that nonsense. No, like I'm not going to do that. So full apologies. My main point here is I apologize if any of you came to the channel, happened to view my subscriptions, if you can see my subscriptions, I'm not sure, and like was like, oh, Justin likes Crypto Kirby. Crypto Kirby must be cool. He's not. A lot of them aren't. So the subscriptions that I have up now are cool content creators. You are safe to browse and peruse. Let's say approved, and make your own decisions. Like watch what you want. If you guys like Crypto Kirby or Crypto Crew, like that's on you. I don't care. I'm not mad at you, right? I guess it might be entertaining, and maybe there's once in a while like a decent thought, but not for me. Okay, so be safe out there, guys. Let's be safe out there. What, the Dixie? Now the second point was this. With regards to the Dixie. So I was talking about this concept that we are, the Dixie has reached a kind of long-term pivot point, right? This level goes back, this reversal level goes, this level of support and resistance, this level of liquidity goes back to the 80s. So it's an area to watch. And then I am informed that like 3 other people are talking about this like daily. And I'm like, oh, and the 3 that I don't like. And now I don't even feel special talking about it anymore. I don't feel special talking about it anymore. Yeah, TW, it was James at the water cooler. Let's see here. Let's see. So the Dixie, again, kind of interestingly enough here, this is something to watch. All right. So just watch the Dixie. The Dixie is one potential way of looking at the strength of the dollar relative to other currencies. Okay. And again, when if you're asking my opinion about Bitcoin to the dollar, what's interesting about that is this may seem obvious, but Bitcoin is traded against the dollar. So the Bitcoin chart, Bitcoin USD, is not just what Bitcoin's doing. It's reflective of what Bitcoin is doing relative to what the dollar is doing. And the dollar has been extremely weak. I want to point that out. The dollar has been extremely weak and Bitcoin has been quite bullish. And what's been happening over the past 2 weeks here? The dollar has been not so weak, or let's say unsure. Like we're consolidating, we're moving sideways. We have formed a swing low, right? So I was expecting kind of moving into this week to see a dollar bounce, right? A correction. The same thing I saw with Bitcoin dominance, right? I talked about this on Monday, and we haven't seen we did see a strong dollar surge yesterday, but we haven't seen like the more pronounced correction that I want. We're seeing a buyback in risk on assets, right? So while we are in a bearish trend, and I'm going to expect that we break through support here and continue moving, I do want to be, I'm kind of on like red alert, right? I'm on red alert right now. There's a lot of things that can happen. We're coming up on the end of summer. Moving into the last quarter of the year, like this is where weird things happen historically. And there's a lot of weird things going on right now. China, essentially openly coming for America's world currency. Civil unrest in America. We've got this pandemic. Bitcoin is on the rise. Adoption and knowledge of how corrupt the banking structure is aware. We are potentially in a position where the corruption of the financial system worldwide, which was uncovered and really revealed to the world in 2000 in the financial crisis of 0809, None of those issues were solved, like systemically. Like fundamentally, the system is still completely broken, and we've just ramped it up. While there is a large debate to be had, let's take the common like left-right debate between like inequality and the wealth gap and whether that is or is not an issue. There is a problem of distribution of currency or money in the system, right? Wealth is not efficiently translating, or wealth is not being efficiently. Okay, let me state my thoughts on this. While I do agree with the traditional, like, let's say more to the right argument that like income inequality is not a problem in and of itself. Okay, I will say that is correct. Like, you can have income inequality in a great society, right? Like, I don't care. I think it's great. I think it's natural that highly motivated, hyper successful, just dominant individuals like make way more money than those who just get by. And that's not unfair. That is fair. If you work hard, you should get more. And there's plenty out there. But right now, there is a problem. Like income inequality, I don't know if it's income inequality, but it's wealth disparity, right? There is not, it's access to wealth, right? In my opinion. And again, I could be wrong. We could have like year-long debates on this, right? I just see that there is a sufficient enough level of we feel shit is messed up in our society that it is generating civil unrest and overall social tension. And that is not healthy, right? That tears a nation apart. We are just in late-stage empire behavior, right? We have a debased currency, and the poorer populations feel the effects of debasement first, right? They feel the lack of purchasing power, and it's not like so apparent what it is at first. It's just malaise at first, right? It's just a kind of general awareness that you are getting the short end of the stick. And as much as I agree with many, like my fundamental philosophy typically leans more toward the right, for sure. But we're not in a good way, man. Like, and it doesn't matter that we're America. It doesn't matter that we're a first world country. And this is happening all over the world. It's not just America. It's happening all over the world. And it's going to lead to a problem. It's always led to a problem. A currency crisis always leads to a problem. A weak currency always leads to a problem. So there's so many fundamental things going on that could trigger one of several things. Or, because what do governments typically do when things get sour or start going south domestically? Well, let's have a war to distract the population. Oh, Gulf of Tonkin, can you believe they did that? Get over there and kill them. And then everybody kind of forgets about the underlying issue for a while and things go back to normal, right? Again, not a conspiracy theory guy, but false flag events that have initiated basically all of the major conflicts of the last 150 years, although there were fundamental concepts underneath them that needed to be dealt with. The initiating trigger, let's say, was largely fabricated on all those events, which, maybe that needed to be done. I don't know. But it's true. So that's a possibility. That's terrifying and certainly not good. And I don't think people are prepared for that eventuality or possibility. Like, I don't see, like, for real, I'm 32 years old. I'm a father. Let me just say something frank here, guys, and don't take this the wrong way. I love my family. I have a 2-year-old daughter and 2 older children, and I would rip through somebody's jugular with my bare teeth and hands in a heartbeat to protect my family. I am not the strongest man, most dominant man, like terrifying man. I'm a pretty calm, passive dude, right? I'm not trying to get beat up. But I will fight with every fiber of my being to protect what I love. And I do not see that conviction from like 90% of any of the rest of the population when I go to the grocery store, right? I see dudes walking around in their jorts and khakis. And although the khakis are all right, I guess, maybe, but whatever, I'm not necessarily making a negative statement on khakis. I don't see that readiness. I don't see that like, hey, it happened. So listen, guys, you guys are in crypto, and I guess all I really mean by this is that there's a lot going on, and analyzing the financials, analyzing the markets, and having an idea of how that fits into your worldview, letting that inform your worldview, I think is very helpful, because we often tend to have a good idea if you are not seeking confirmation bias, if you are genuinely opening your ears and listening, if you are genuinely looking at the charts and thinking about what it means. Like, what do these things mean? Sometimes there's just random squiggles on the chart, but sometimes the bigger patterns do convey knowledge, intent, purpose, meaning. There's knowledge there if you want to find it. And so we often know about things before they happen, right? Like how many things have we in crypto that have happened in the world, like been aware of before it popped off? Most people in our Discord, or the people that I talk to who are into cryptocurrency, which is just about everybody that I talk to, like we were concerned about coronavirus back in January, and most of us took precautions. And then when did the most of the world find out? Like months later, when they just get hit with a layoff notice. So we tend to be ahead of the curve. So you do have Samuri Razor Platinum Talons, mate. Thank you for that wonderful comment. You guys can't see this, but just put you in timeout, sir. See. Anyways, let me take a step back before that. All right, let's take a step back before that, before I lose half the audience. Now, listen, guys. All I'm trying to say is be safe out there. Search for the truth and just have a plan, right? Like we are moving into a time in society where a lot of weird things can happen. And if you think that the safety nets, the protection, the security, just the way things that have been, if you are confident that those are going to be there for you and that you don't need to take the volition to prepare yourself to be able to protect yourself, to be able to fend for yourself, to be able to provide for yourself, I think you are ill prepared for catastrophe. And I think that one of the best ways to be in life, regardless of how safe or secure or steady the future may be, is prepared for catastrophe, right? Because you want to be able to be that person in the moment that the moment needs, right? I think that's a good way to live a fulfilling life. With that being said, guys, it is 1:42. And I feel like we should probably go ahead and begin wrapping it up. We've got a lot. It's getting toward the end of the week. We are getting close to finishing some projects, some deadlines. I do want to get with the team and put in some extra work today. And if I got an extra 15 minutes for lunch, it would be fantastic because I often have to eat through work. And I do have a special occasion where my daughter is home from school today. So I want to go hang out with her for a little bit. You guys have been absolutely fantastic. Hopefully I didn't lose you too much. Again, quick update here. Overall, the markets we are seeing a one-day rebound in the markets following a 2 to 3 day sell-off. I would be optimistic and looking for long trades. I don't see a lot of things that are signaling confirmation or continuation on the daily. We're going to need a few more days for that. But again, the setups that we looked at were like reversal baseline bounces and reversals within the trend. It is far more aggressive to buy the first dip, and typically I don't. I do think that we can see a second wave here. So just overall, pick up. Listen, if you're going to just like, I think this price is cheap, I'm going to like DCA in, okay. I would make like some smaller purchases potentially of the coins that you really want to hold, okay? And be prepared for a second leg down. And be prepared if that second leg down continues. But so far, we do not see evidence that the market is going to reverse at this point in time. I think the excitement, the enthusiasm is still here, and I think that we've got quite a bit of ways to go. So trade safely, make smart decisions, and let's go talk about things we need to plug. All right, prepare for the pluginator. All right, make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel if you're not already. Hit the notification bell, turn them all on. It's the right thing to do. You know it is. Smash the like button, guys. Like I said, 19 more, guys. If we can get 100 likes, I will, for the first time ever in history. And yes, I'm going to turn it up right here. I will make a video telling you guys what, for real, my 4 to 5 holds are, my moonshot coins are that I hold right now, right this second in my wallet, some in my ledger, some aren't ledger compatible, but I will make that video this weekend. It'll be a pre-record. It'll be really fun, not financial advice, because those are the coins that I was like, nah, screw it. I'm going to buy them. 1,000 here couldn't hurt. Maybe it'll 10x. That is my position with those coins. Every other trade that I take, you guys know. Position size, risk management. I am probably the most conservative and cautious trader here on YouTube, and that's why I've been able to do this for such a long time. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, sarcastic remarks, or death threats, they go below in the comments section. And question of the day. Question of the day. Are you guys prepared for things to go sideways? And how are you prepared? What are you doing to prepare, right? Are you doing more push-ups? You know, have you bought a new knife? Are you stacking sats? Are you switching banks. I don't know. Tell me. There's interesting strategies out there because there's interesting ways to prepare for catastrophe. Like there's not going to be people out there who are who are just in a position to like be physically tough or prepare themselves physically. So perhaps they're preparing themselves mentally, right? Maybe you're reading The Way of the Superior Man, or maybe you're reading, you know, like 48 Laws of Power, like whatever you may be doing to improve yourself. Maybe you're buying DeFi coins. Maybe you're watching Kraken Crypto. Either way, let us know in the comment section down below. Make sure to join us in the Discord, discord.krakencryptocurrency, to stay up to date and grow as a person. I think that should be a good tagline for the Discord. And if you are interested in becoming a professional trader, building your own system, learning about the way that we trade, learning about proper position sizing, risk management, just the correct fundamentals to get you started for a life of success in this market, check out everything that we do at premium.krakencryptocurrency.com. Links to everything you can need in the description, including affiliate links if you want to support the channel or get deals on things that we support. And that's about it, guys. We'll be back tomorrow at 12 p.m. Central Standard Time for another episode of Breaking Bitcoin. Until then, trade safely and, you know, again, conservatively. Buy Bitcoin. Cheers, guys.